Friday, the Nobel Committee made the following announcement.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria Corina Machado.
Nonsense. Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Come on, nobody likes a sore loser.
The Trump administration, Tina, they paint a picture of lawlessness and complete chaos, that we, all of us, are overwhelmed by the facts on the ground. And all he's doing is advancing the fundamental paradigm of law and order. And it's remarkable that we are not more.
A presidency that seems less like public service and more like a primetime show. The president in office at the moment of. The United States assumes the role of both spin doctor and star. Jimmy Kimmel and Gavin Newsom expose the insanity underneath the dancing, not just making fun of the crazy. Trump turns government into a publicity stunt with every headline, handling scandals with the zeal of a magician who confuses a misunderstanding for a plan and praise for a job well done.
Oh, by the way, Caroline Leavitt on Air Force One yesterday, not only did Trump decide to poll the reporters on whether or not she should be allowed to keep her job, he took a little tour through Creepy Town, too.
How's Caroline doing? Is she doing good? Should Caroline be replaced?
No. That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Nobody wants to. I said she does a great job. Thank you. Do you want to elaborate on the
And those lips, they move like a machine gun, right?
You upset, Governor? Well, how can you not be? I've got 4 kids. 80% of their toys under their Christmas tree come from China. I've got family members living paycheck to paycheck. Many family members. My mom, who passed away years and years ago, was one of them. I mean, no rationale, no plan, no country.
Kimmel quickly notes that the longest-running improv act in political history is now Trump's presidency. Every morning starts with an impromptu performance that has everyone wondering if it's governance or simply another America's Got Tandem show. Newsom chimes in, pointing out that the man throws out half-baked ideas and calls them innovation, treating policy briefings like stand-up shows. Naturally, the distinction between improv comedy and leadership is that the former calls for preparation. Can you guess which one Trump chose?
I mentioned last week the Norwegian government, they have one, by the way, the Norwegian government, they was worried about Trump retaliating against them if he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. And the woman who did win, Maria Corina Machado, was maybe a little nervous about it, too, because she felt the need to call him about it.
The person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. Very nice.
In contrast, previous presidents managed crises with composed speeches and meticulous preparation. Trump likes to live in chaos. His approach is uncomplicated. Start a fire, pretend to be shocked, and then give a press conference praising his remarkable discovery of the fire. The end effect is a government that is always in circles and driven only by his attention-seeking needs. Kimmel best characterizes it as a presidency powered by denial, ego, and caffeine. Every controversy serves as fuel. Every scandal presents a fresh chance for marketing.
Again, this is a hot mic situation from the ceasefire ceremony in Egypt yesterday. Listen in as the president of Indonesia hits Trump up for an in with his kids. It's the first time anyone has ever asked to meet Eric. It's exciting. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. He's 41 years.
Trump's ability to turn the White House into a stage for self-congratulation makes Newsom shake his head. The individual gives himself kudos for surviving issues that he caused. He claims victories in the midst of defeats, does triumphant loops around catastrophes, and somehow persuades millions that the chaos behind him is modern art. He is less of a commander-in-chief and more of a guy who showed up at a wedding and stole the cake.
No consideration of congressional responsibility. Where the hell is Congress? Where the hell is Speaker Johnson? Do your job. They're sitting there passively as this guy wrecks the economy in the United States of America. which has dominated the global economy. Don't take my word for it. The Wall Street Journal. We are the envy to the world. And overnight, a wrecking ball to America's reputation, our role.
Kimmel delves deeply into the ridiculousness of Trump's connection to reality. Under his supervision, facts flex like gymnasts. Rewriting reality is more important than respecting it. He merely alters the narrative when the facts don't match, with the assurance that half of the audience won't look at the script. The nation isn't operated rationally under Trump, Newsom continues. Performance is its driving force. The distinction between parody and politics is no longer there. Additionally, the parody seems more plausible in some way.
Yeah, that was a nice thing for the person who got the Nobel Prize to do today. I don't know why they gave this to me. It should have gone to you, Mr. President. So now Trump's focused on winning the prize next year, which is fine. Let him keep trying to make peace. I'm fine with coming up with prizes and trophies to motivate him. Give them the Nobel, reopen the government, and leave healthcare.
Every time a new policy is implemented, it seems like a crazy reality show episode. The week of infrastructure turns into the year of infrastructure. International summits resemble group therapy sessions where Trump is both the patient and the issue, and trade discussions devolve into trade tantrums. When he stumbles upon success, he labels it diplomacy, negotiates like he's bargaining at a flea market, and enters into coalitions like a bull into a china shop. His foreign policy philosophy is based on whatever cable news outlets are most interested in. Kimmel is in awe of Trump's ability to make ineptitude appear deliberate. He makes mistakes so confidently that they nearly appear premeditated. His government is a chaotic, rotating door. Every exit presented as a brilliant deed. Trump doesn't cause resignations. They are promoted to freedom. He transforms controversy into campaign material, failure into branding, and crisis into content. It's marketing at maximum volume, not leadership. Newsom grins at how ironic everything is. For a man who is fixated on being seen as powerful, Trump's administration is based solely on his vulnerability. Every critique turns into an existential danger. There is a national emergency for every late-night joke. He rules using a Wi-Fi signal's emotional stability. When you need it most, you're strong for a second and then totally gone. He explodes over criticism rather than merely responding to it, making sure the fallout always ends up somewhere else.
No president has ever been more committed to peace, and he's arresting all the rabble-rousers to prove it.
We have arrested dozens of individuals that are Antifa members or affiliated with them, and I want to thank our Attorney General for prosecuting them and making sure they never see the light of day again.
That's just the Secretary of Homeland Security suggesting we lock up American protesters.
Kimmel highlights how the Trump administration appears to be allergic to responsibility. Scandals are considered as badges of honor, and they proliferate like spin-offs of reality shows. The country is numb from the sheer number of controversies. The shock bar is now buried far down. What was once unimaginable is now Tuesday. Trump's anarchy is so regular that it almost functions like programming. Every day, at the same hour, a different disaster occurs. Newsom draws attention to Trump's odd ability to use even weighty subjects for personal gain. There is always a connection between him and every disaster. Like an autobiography, he recounts the country's hardships while attempting to create catastrophes out of his brilliance. Its leadership was reframed as a narrative in which he was portrayed as the protagonist, the sufferer, and narrator at the same time. In the story of Trump versus the globe, the nation takes on the role of a supporting character, a script no one asked for but can't seem to turn off. Kimmel embraces the ridiculous spectacle that is Trump's public appearances. With excessive cheers and loud cries, every gathering seems like a concert for confusion. Like a mixtape stuck on chaotic mode, the speeches repeat themselves. In the middle of a sentence, facts are dropped in favor of whatever plot point best suits him. He doesn't deal with issues. He tries out for applause. The crowd doesn't come looking for answers. They are there to watch the show. And Trump consistently delivers, burying policy beneath jokes.
Speaking of healthcare, Trump got a physical on Friday, and good news, his blood pressure, cholesterol, and genius are all stable. His doctors say he's in excellent health and fully capable of continuing to make sure that millions of his fellow Americans aren't. Interestingly, the White House doctor left Trump's weight off the report. Usually they put the weight. Instead of his weight, he wrote that Trump has a...
According to Newsom, the true sadness lies not only in the ridiculousness, but also in the normalization of it. A nation that formerly took pride in its decorum now gauges leadership by decibel level. His support shouts louder as Trump grows louder, confusing noise with vision. He has made noise the national policy and transformed indignation into a kind of administration. The only rule in the echo chamber of self-praise that has taken over the White House is that Trump must always speak loudest. Kimmel claims to have founded the Olympics and says that Trump would win gold if chaos were an Olympic sport. Like a trained stuntman of scandal, he transitions between crises. Nothing bothers him. Not inquiries, not critiques, not actuality. His self-assurance is unbreakable, not because it is based on reality, but rather because it is encased in illusion. He isn't driving the nation's progress. He's circling around it and claiming that it's progress. Newsom looks at how Trump's fixation on allegiance obscures his ability to be competent. In his administration, dedication is required, but skill is optional. The highest qualification in the fan club that has taken over the government is flattery. People who dare to dissent quickly become adversaries in the eyes of the people. It's not a managerial issue. It is a monarchy masquerading as a democracy, with loyalty pledges in place of policy documents. A leadership team that understands nothing and agrees on everything is the end outcome.
It is about the United States of America. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in the red states. He's going after, it's a war. He's a wartime president. He's the head of a war party. War on women, war on voting rights, war on Hispanics, a war on this state, war on institutions, war on history. I mean, this is serious. This guy's trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize. That's what he's going to try to say tomorrow in Alaska, that he's the big guy trying to find peace, really? When he's bringing war to the American people? He put military in the streets, not of Baghdad. He didn't send the military in his first administration anywhere in the world. He sent the United States Marines into the United States of America in one of the bluest cities in this country, in Los Angeles, one of the great cities, American cities. That's what Donald Trump did. He is a wartime president.
Kimmel finds Trump's approach to international diplomacy amusing, as though it were a celebrity feud. Public insults and dramatic reconciliations are all part of the tabloid-style story that has become international relations. He treats world leaders like game show competitors. While some receive roses, others receive angry tweets. His mood, which fluctuates more quickly than the White House personnel roster, determines the stability of the entire world. Unpredictability is not a tactic. It's showmanship devoid of depth. Trump's economic plans frequently sound like they were conceived on a golf cart, according to Newsom. Slogans are sacred, numbers are optional, and consequences are unimportant. He uses a magic trick to sell prosperity. The audience will applaud before understanding their wallets are lighter if you can divert their attention for long enough. There are tiny print attached to every tax promise. In every tariff dispute, the middle class bears the brunt of the consequences. The economy starts to focus more on optics than growth. The irony that Trump's reputation was based on his ability to negotiate deals makes Kimmel shake his head. However, under his direction, agreements fall apart more quickly than his words. Alliances break down, talks go awry, and agreements expire. Nobody pays attention to how frequently he loses because he speaks about winning so much. In his viewpoint, outcomes are not used to gauge success. Airtime is used to measure it. It must be functioning if it appears well on TV. That is Trump's America's entire economic tenet.
And then it was Trump's turn to ratchet up the rhetoric with fiery images conjured from no one has any idea where.
One thing I have to say is that Washington, D.C. was almost as bad. I don't know what could be worse than Portland. You don't even have stores anymore. They don't even put glass up. They put plywood on their windows.
Poor people, they look out the window, they see wood. They don't have glass. I don't know what's scarier, the idea that he's making this all up or that he might actually believe this stuff. There are no stores in Portland. It's as if he's getting his intelligence briefings from reruns of The Walk.
Trump's concept of patriotism feels more like brand loyalty. Newsom continues. Administration. Slogans and flags take the place of content. He sells ineptitude as authenticity by enclosing it in nationalism. It treats the country's problems as marketing opportunities and reduces infrastructure, healthcare, and education to empty slogans. It is a presidency maintained by denial and driven by performance. There are no policies for America. It is packaged with red, white, and blue punchlines. Trump's communication style is a lesson in bewilderment, according to Kimmel. He talks like a man assembling sentences out of fragments. Every statement begins forcefully, veers into pandemonium, and finishes wherever his attention span gives out. The message is irrelevant. The moment is what matters. The government doesn't make any plans in advance. It makes a loud sound. The field of crisis management has turned into a performance art form where appearances are more important than results. Despite his refusal to acknowledge it, Trump governs like a man running a performance for which he has forgotten the script. Kimmel finds it incredible that despite all the proof of his failure, Trump continues to portray himself as the quintessential success story. It seems like every policy, promise, and endeavor falls apart. Nevertheless, he manages to turn the ruins into a triumph. Being a skilled illusionist, he can make accountability vanish right before our eyes. His ability isn't what makes him resilient. Its foundation is shamelessness. Perhaps the only true skill he possesses is the ability to openly fail while still claiming victory.
After I sign these two pieces of legislation establishing a special session and the maps, I also will be signing a proclamation on November 4th, the people of the state of California, in a transparent and, as Speaker and Pro Tem said, temporary and democratic way, will have the opportunity to determine their fate and our collective future.
Kimmel is astonished by how Trump's rendition of leadership has become a masterclass in chaos recycling. Each controversy is reframed as a new story. Like an old sitcom, each controversy had a fresh ensemble of enablers. What ought to have been lessons turn into sequels. And something that ought to have ended ages ago somehow makes a comeback. The ridiculousness isn't a coincidence. It's the recipe. The guiding premise of his presidency is that the truth will never be settled if the news never stops. The result is not chaos. It's the system. And because individuals are unable to turn away, the system thrives. Kimmel convinces the audience that the entire situation is similar to a magician who has been doing the same trick for years. Always fresh. Every error turns into an opportunity for innovation. Rebranding is possible with any backlash. Although the scandals have different titles, the plot remains the same. He is always in the spotlight, not because of his accomplishments, but rather because of his unrelenting, loudness. It's political perseverance under the mask of charm. A never-ending relevance audition.
That wasn't the only thing we got. We also got a very special report filed by J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois.
This is J.B. Pritzker reporting from war-torn Chicago. As you can see, there's utter mayhem and chaos on the ground. It's quite disturbing. The Milwaukee Brewers have come in to attack our Chicago Cubs. We've seen people being forced to eat hot dogs with ketchup on them. And our deep dish pizza, well, has gone shallow. So it's a challenge to survive here in the city of Chicago, but there's no hellscape that I'd rather be in.
Well, thank you, Governor. And please know that you and the Cubs will be in our...
Newsom considers how Trump has changed how people view authority. The once characterized by dignity and moderation, presidency has devolved into an extravagant show. He has substituted sentiments for facts, theatrics for diplomacy, and performance for leadership. His approach to government is similar to the reasoning of reality TV. You're still winning if folks are still conversing. The ratings are more important than the results. The nation is not permitted. It is being controlled similarly to an audience and trained to respond rather than to think. Even his detractors have joined the spectacle, according to Newsom. The machine he thrives on is fed by every insult, every counterargument, and every moment of incredulity. He has created oxygen out of opposition. The more resistance there is, the show becomes stronger. The fact that he commands most of the attention is not the only tragedy. The only remaining metric is attentiveness. Outrage in this context is advertisement rather than opposition. The irony that Trump, a control-obsessed man, thrives best amid chaos makes Kimmel shake his head. He is not a stable leader. He takes the lead. He feels more powerful the louder the chaos. Applause, misunderstanding, and debate overpower the truth in this volume-driven empire. He doesn't require everyone's belief. All he needs is for someone to look at him. After taking one last look at the spectacle, Newsom comes to the conclusion that Trump has reduced contemporary politics to a theatrical production. Running a country is no longer the role of the president. The goal is to maintain the spotlight. Additionally, the commotion will keep repeating as long as the lights are on and the cameras are filming, with Donald Trump always in the middle and refusing to let the curtain down.